Y'all ready for story time? All right, so back in the day, I hated water cooler talk. I hated small talk. All the way to where when I was a supervisor, I worked at this company and the company was really big on behavior modification, right? So they would literally observe us in action doing what we were doing. It was a company for kids with mental health issues. And so I'm a supervisor working with other childcare workers and therapists. And my supervisor sat there and she watched the whole interaction. We had something called consultation, right? So I had an hour consultation, checking in with the staff, looking at their caseload, seeing how everything was going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So after they left, my supervisor came to me and she said, "LaShauna, I've never given anyone this kind of feedback before ever in my life. And I kind of feel weird giving it to you." And I'm like, "Yes, what's up?" She said, "I need you to be more informal." And I'm like, huh? Informal? Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, we got things to do. This is the agenda. I'm at work. Let's get it, right? And she was like, "I need you to ask your staff how their day was. What is little Tommy doing? If they have a birthday or if it was a weekend, ask them how the weekend was. Smooth your way, put a little sugar on it before you jump right in and get into business." And I'm like, wait, so you want me to sit there and chit chat? That's what you paying me to do? And back then, this was like 10 years ago. In my mind, I said, I don't care about how their weekend was. That's not relevant to me. And I had to realize that relationship building is everything. The people won't do the work that you want them to do if you don't care about them, if you don't present as if, "Hey, how was your weekend? Awesome, that's cool. I love that shirt." And in my mind, I'm like, you want me to be fake. You want me to just shoot the shits and shoot the breeze. And that makes me feel uncomfortable. So I had to do some deep work. I had to ask myself, why is it that you can't just relax, put your shoulders down, lean in, and just be easy? And what I realized is it was because my whole life, I was always on 10, on to the next, two jobs and working on my degrees and single mom. And when I get home, I have to do this. And so my brain was a frantic brain, always rocking, always rolling. And if I were to stop and pause and just to sit there and kind of kick back and say, "Hey, what's going on?" That's awesome. Do you see just the change and shift of, I was smiling and I was being informal? That's what she wanted more of. Let me tell you this, that changed the trajectory of my life, of my leadership qualities, of my ability to be an effective CEO, and even now, 10 years later, of me being a business owner and a business therapist, a mindset coach serving my clients. And I had to continue to do the deep work to really dig deep to explore, why was it that it made me feel uncomfortable to have small talk? That it made me feel uncomfortable to just kind of lean back and shoot the shits and shoot the breeze. It's okay. We don't always have to be on. We don't always have to be on 10 to where everything is so rigid and so calculated. Where did I learn that from? Who told me that that was the way to supervise and to manage and to be a leader with my staff? No one told me that. That is the thing that I created in my mind. So fast forward, I jumped in my old supervisor's message in LinkedIn and I told her, I said, "Do you remember that feedback you gave me a long time ago?" She's like, "No, what?" I said, "You told me I needed to work on being more informal." And this is the thing about trusting your gut and being courageous and brave and acting on your instincts and what you feel. A lot of times, like, I don't want to tell her that I need you to be honest and upfront about things and people and situations and scenarios, because that changed the trajectory of my career. I was operating as a robot. And guys, perception is reality. Feedback is your friend. If someone on the outside seen a dynamic, me and my staff, and they picked it up, how did that staff feel in the moment? It probably was like nerve-wracking to come and meet with me every week because they knew that it was going to be intense and frantic. And now, mind you, I'm not sitting there doing all this, but if I'm like, okay, so how are things going? Okay, awesome. And I'm just going down the road and agenda driven, that's uncomfortable. And that does not leave room for incidental teaching and incidental relationship building. So, I'm sharing this story with you because I'm sure there's several things that you can take away. But my question is, are you being fully present in your everyday dynamics? Whether you are a leader, a CEO, a business owner, a mom, a direct care staff, whatever your role is in this life, are you fully present where you can give eye contact and you can really see that person so they can feel seen, valued, and heard? And what happens, guys, there is a magical thing that happens. The universe is awakened and synergy flows and energy flows. And both people walk away from that interaction excited and ready for the next thing. And so what I learned from that was, number one, feedback is your friend. Number two, I'm so glad that I was open and eager to learn to where she served me that information and I didn't shut down. I listened to it. I thought about it. I leaned in, and fast forward, I've been able to be promoted all over the world, flew out to create programs in communities for the company. I left and started my own business, and I'm going on 3+ years of being a full-time business owner, and 6 years overall in my business. But I'm telling you, because one piece of information, one dynamic, one connection can change the trajectory of your life. Let me know what resonated and follow for more mindset tips.